Sebastien Carayol. He is the, did I get it right? The co-curator of La Philharmonie de Paris. And they are opening their...
Say it again.
No, I'm not saying it again. No.
Please.
No.
Please.
It's hard to
say.
say.
It
Never say it again.
Say it again.
Which part?
La Philharmonie.
La Philharmonie de Paris. Ah, okay, here we go. And we are launching Jamaica, Jamaica. It is at the National Gallery of Jamaica tomorrow. Tell us your involvement with it and how you came about to be involved with a Jamaican launch in Paris.
Well, it happened that I discovered, let's say, Jamaican music through going to dances in London, sound system, Jamaican sound systems, and it was really like a revelation for me, kind of like, wow, this music can be so powerful with a message. And so that was about, I'm old, you know, so that was about 30 years
well, you
ago.
don't look it, so it doesn't matter.
But anyway, so discovering this got me into wanting to know more and more and more about this music. So I started as a journalist, and I started writing about reggae music. And eventually that turned into the idea to turn all this sort of knowledge into an exhibition, because I realized that in Europe particularly, the way Jamaican music is presented is only, you know, one of the subtitles of the exhibition was what about the half that's never been told? We're talking about Dennis Brown earlier, you know, and that's really very much like that. The perceptions of Jamaican music in Europe is through certain icons, and I wanted to say I felt there was a form of injustice for, you know, people only know, let's say, the big names.
Yeah.
But you know, you'd be surprised that in France, Dennis Brown, Gregory Isaacs, Sugar Minot, you really got to be into reggae to know these names, you know? So to me, I felt like we need to rebalance this and show the whole story and present it to the public.
But no, with the advancement in technology, do you think that's going to be much easier?
It's a lot easier now, but when I started, it was really hard to find information. Even if you wanted to go to a dance in London, it was like hearsay, whatever. You get lost in like a neighborhood because you're not sure if it's even
Sound
happening
like you
tonight.
get lost very often.
Yeah.
Okay,
so yeah.
You guys have 6 sections. Could you tell us about those 6? You have Freedom Sounds.
Yeah. So basically, the idea of the exhibition. So the intent. So it was started in Paris in 2017. And it was always from the beginning a collaboration with the Jamaica Music Museum and the National Gallery of Jamaica. Because the idea from the very beginning was to, if we ever do that exhibition in France, it needs to come back home to Jamaica to involve Jamaicans, you know. So the idea was to build sort of a story of the roots of rebel music in a way. So it starts with music linked to Kumina, revival, very ritual music, and then also that mix of ritual and secular music, which is sound system culture. So it's unique to, let's say, diasporic cultures, to have that mix of like the ritual and the sacred. In Europe, it's very like you go to church or you go to a dance. In Jamaica, you do both.
So it's almost like you're starting from the beginning at 1 with Freedom Sounds, and then 6 is dancehall style. In between that is Voices of Trenchtown, Studios, Echoes Chamber. Get Up, Stand Up is 4, and Trenchtown to the World.
Well, the best is to come and see tomorrow.
Yes, that's the only way, and they open tomorrow.
In a nutshell, it's basically the idea is to, through this sort of intention of explaining rebel music in a way, is to go through different times in history and also talk about certain legendary studios. Trenchtown to the World is a section called, is to sort of shift the focus, because in Europe particularly people see Bob Marley, but they forget that Bob Marley was initially always a trio, you know, Bob Marley, Peter Tosh, Bunny Wailer, coming from Trenchtown with a lot of very legendary singers that I think didn't get sort of the respect they deserved. So, you know, we're talking about Joe Higgs, Delroy Wilson, all these other people coming from Trenchtown.
Who helped the cause.
And who did amazing songs and albums over the years.
So the launch is tomorrow, starting at 11 a.m.
At the National Gallery. How long does it run?
It runs until June 28th.
And it's open every day to the public?
Every day besides Monday.
Okay, all right. Well, this sounds like it's gonna be fun. So I know a lot of students will definitely be out, because we have to do things like that in school. So that will definitely be a good way to get the information out.
I've never been to France.
Oh.
what's the reception like when you have an event like this, when you had it in 2017?
It was very successful, and then we did it again in 2018 in Brazil, and there was like amazing, because Brazil, like Jamaica, is a country where music is part of daily life, and in France, music is sort of something, you know, it's you do on the weekend, you go to a concert, whatever, but here you hear music everywhere. In Jamaica, Brazil is the same, so it was really like a huge success in Brazil and quite a big success in France too.
Wow. So it sounds like there are plans to go to different countries, you know. So
yeah, well, that's the final stop here, and that's the way it was intended to be. Okay. When I first started talking with Herbie Miller from the Jamaica Music Museum, it was really a collaboration from the beginning to sort of hope that this showing a success of this exhibition here would validate the idea that there's a need for a really big museum about the history of Jamaican music, and it is viable economically. So that's why I hope a lot of people are going to show up to really show that it's a valid sort of thing that needs to be permanent.
Come on, guys. This is how we show. This is how we show that we're worth it. Go on out and take a look. It's going to be fantastic and very informative, I think. Originator of Jamaica, Sebastien Carayol.
A reggae fun stop after
Say
this. Sebastien Carayol.
La
Philemon.
On the training, down the drain. We'll be right back, guys.
Try.